This can't be a surprise to anyone, right? I recently got into The Boys because I heard it was ending, so I had to rush through all the comics, all the shows, even Gen V with the spin-off show. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I didn't watch the comics yet, or read the comics, but I'm not actually buying the books, right? I'm just gonna go online and read them for free. It's very short. Come on. Anyway, this video is talking about all the reasons the peak of The Boys won't die. He's not just the peak of human evolution, the peak of superheroes, the peak of marine biology. He is the best character in The Boys by far. Now, many reasons include, but are not limited to, he is a women's rights activist, a true supporter to marine animals, a superhero, part of the legendary Seven, a team player, hilarious, strong, innocent, faithful, loyal, honest, and many other qualities that put him above simpletons like us, right? Also, this isn't confirmed, but based on episode 1, where the kid was arguing who's stronger between translucent and the deep, my headcanon is that this guy has a bunch of terminally ill cancer kids waiting in line for him. Alright? Even though I don't know who the fuck wants to be with the deep. But I digress. And since he's so benevolent and his species is so transcendent above ours, it's like on another mental landscape basically, you can assume the intelligence and superiority that comes with this. Look at this fine gentleman right here. These are probably those ugly ass kids that that order him with cancer, right? This is us, right? This is us. This is the deep, right? You viewer, you're this motherfucker right here, cracked out of his mind right now. You're on Jupiter, bitch. You don't even know where you're at. This is the deep. Look at him. He's so focused. He knows exactly what he's doing. Okay. And since he's part of the Seven, as you can assume, he has many, many allies. One of which include Homelander. Oh my god. He's friends with religious leaders, common people, animals, and all types of life around the world. What can't I see through? Deep. Zinc, Homelander. I'm not doing this shit again. Just so y'all know, I'm not doing this shit again. Ever again. He's also a civil rights activist. Look at him. Look at him doing so well, bro. Now, in all seriousness, he's incredibly entertaining for a character. Far more engaging and hilarious than the comic version, which goes for a quieter, stoic approach with the deep, right? He isn't really a main antagonist, from what I've seen at least, right? In the show, they go out of their way to build his character, and although they make him look stupid 95% of the time, he is, a key part of what makes up the Boys, right? He's engaging, he has an actual personality, he goes through character development, showing his depth constantly. Get it? Because, his name is the Deep? Like depth? Okay, no, sorry. Honestly, he's kind of this is a controversial take. I kind of hate that he killed Black Noir, right? But if we're going by a moral standard, he was kind of right. I mean, he killed, Fish Hitler, right? Now, he did use a lot of the screen time that could have been used for other characters, such as Black Noir, both of them, Lamplighter, Supersonic. We didn't get enough of Supersonic. Homelander just murdered the motherfucker. I heard they did a similar thing in the comics, but, he was more of a prick, so... His character seems to be leaning a lot towards Homelander being a potentially bad thing for him. Okay, fuck. I don't know how to write. Being potentially a bad Oh shit, I don't know how to read. I wrote that correctly. Fuck. Being potentially a bad thing for him, as Homelander sees right through his loyal facade. But what he lacks in character, he has in heart. Even though he doesn't really lack character. He's a phenomenal character. The actor's also phenomenal with the Deep too. Like, credits to him. Now, he does need more character interactions. Especially with Huey. After he put all 9 inches of his depth inside Starlight. So, I hope they cover that in episode 7. Which I haven't seen, by the way. Let me make that clear. I haven't seen that yet. Now, when you're not respectful to a higher authority such as the Deep, you get put in your place. Look at this bitch right here. She had no fucking idea what was about to happen. I am the Lord of the 7 Seas. And he was like threatening to give a swirly to Ashley here. Like, this is the face of shock. This is gonna be my new Discord profile picture. What a fucking loser. This wench had no idea who he was talking to. Anyway, now, I'm sure, let me go back for a second. Let me go back so I can prepare you guys. As you know, we're all living creatures. We all make mistakes. We all learn. Now, the Deep is no exception, all right? Despite him being the peak of human evolution, he still has his flaws. Very minor flaws. So I'm going to go over them very quickly, all right? In orderly fashion. His crimes include sexism, blackmail, rape, zoophilia, defamation, indecent exposure, corruption, creating a hostile environment for kids, murder, mass murder on all degrees, animal cruelty, bestiality, serial rape, conspiracy, treason, attempted murder, assault and battery, pollution and environmental danger, adultery, gangbanging with animals, fraud, cannibalism, kidnapping, fucking murdering again, black pill, concealing information from his team, the government, and the public, hiring a hitman, adultery, dick riding, trafficking, negligence, irresponsible drinking, hiring a hit on someone, sodomy, no remorse, burglary, vandalism, and trafficking animals for sex. Now, this is just a small hindrance in the overall character, right? A lot of these are just rumors after all, right? Like, there's no video evidence of Starlight deep-throating him against her will. Like, ignore the picture that I put right here, alright? Oh, shit, wait. I might get demonetized for that. But you guys should know that despite all of this, he's still a very compassionate, heavenly, divine, pure, innocent, clean, virtuous, and moral human. No, moral, superior being. Zoophile, quote unquote, versus zoophile. Now, people often call him a zoophile for fucking animals, which there is no evidence to, as we know. Now, however, a common comparison that I've seen quite often is Shane fucking Dawson. As you know, this guy's a freak on multiple different levels. He's like the IRL Deep. He fucked this cat, I'm pretty sure. So we're not gonna go too much into detail about him, cause he's like not a Giga Chad, like the Deep over here. So let's go over their similarities and differences, and then their lines. All right, and let's compare. So one fucks animals, the other one fucks animals. The Deep hates women. Shane Dawson also has crimes against women. The Deep is infamously controversial. The same with Shane Dawson. Now, here are where the differences start, right? The Deep is an absolute Chad throughout the show. He's not done a single thing wrong throughout his entire lifetime. In fact, the best thing that happened to this world was his dad busting a nut, creating the Deep, alright? Like, that's the best thing that happened to this planet. He's also faithful and a comedic god. I am the peak of human evolution, and you're just a capybara, right? He's not fucking land mammals, by the way, alright? Like, That was just a rumor that this bitch started over here, alright? Until she got put in her place. Now, if we compare that to Shane Dawson, he's a loser, a pedophile, unfunny, and has this quote which I can't read out loud for YouTube purposes, right? You could probably search it up. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. Now, in all seriousness, there are a few ways they could end off the story with him. Since there are only 2 episodes left and they canceled Gen V, like, retards. I will present every possible outcome for him. Most to least likely. Killed by Homelander. Homelander by now has realized that the Deep is a massive sycophant. He will realize that he doesn't need anyone for the 45th time and crash out on the Deep and multiple other characters. As a result of this, he will die. This is where the Deep gets woke. The Deep realizes Homelander doesn't value him at all and rebels against him, actually saying something for himself for the first time in his life, causing his untimely death or exile or exemption or any other bad thing. Right? He could also get killed in the final battle with Homelander. In this scenario, the Deep will most likely be a foot soldier Homelander sets out before appearing himself. Now, after Homelander took the V1, he is likely to do everything, like killing the boys by himself, but the writers will probably make him go after the weaker characters first, just to finish them off in swift fashion. Also, so he could, like, wrap up everyone's character, because the writers are infamous for doing stupid shit that wouldn't work in real life. Like, everything involving Sister Sage's plan in episode 6 was just flat out retardedness. Stupid. Now, my 4th outcome is that he survives and becomes a celebrity with history. Like this motherfucker right here. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Actually, no. I kind of hope it does happen, because that would be a very poetic way to end off his story. He survives, and just like most celebrities with bad history, the Deep might pussy out against the true threats and leave to go become a well-known figure for whatever organization or whatever cause, like a cockroach hanging onto its last thread of life. We saw a glimpse of this in season 2, or was it season 1? It was like when Starlight was giving her whole spiel about Christianity and her faith. The 5th possibility is that he leaves into the sea and all the fish kill him. Now, from episode 6, ever since Fischler destroyed the oil pipe, they all thought that the Deep was responsible for that. Because I saw some people get confused online about what Jeremy meant by "we know it was you." Now, the fish, they're clearly intelligent, but they had no way of knowing that the Deep built the oil pipeline, right? It was already bad for the fish, but then Black Noir destroyed the pipe, and it ended up killing billions and millions of fish and destroying, like, entire ecosystems. Essentially a fish holocaust, as he describes it. Now, because this is the extent of what the fish know, and because the Deep is most active with the fish and all other marine life, they probably assumed it was him since he just got close. Now, if he goes back into the sea, I think the Deep wouldn't kill himself because he's too much of a pussy, but he'll definitely either be jumped or ostracized by everyone else there, leading to a downward spiral into depression. He could fall into irrelevancy after the reign of superheroes ends. He goes on to become just a regular guy until he tries to assault another female and or starts relations with animals, to which he would get incarcerated for. And this time, since the Seven won't exist anymore, he has no legal protection. And the final outcome I named The Boys because it's the one that I kind of most want to see. Huey should get his get back. Excuse me. Huey specifically has bad blood with the Deep. Through Annie, of course. So knowing that, the two of them would and should probably kill each other. Now, Huey should definitely get his get back for the Deep. Deep-throating his girl, right? Deep-throating his girl? No, it's kind of the other way around. But, like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So that's definitely something that I want to see instead of just, Homelander killing off the Deep. Even though it would be extremely poetic if he did. Or would it be poetic? No. Let's go back to bullet point number 1. He doesn't need anyone for the 45th time in a row and crash out on the Deep and multiple other characters. I put of the Deep. God, I'm shit at writing these. Okay. So, in conclusion, the Peaks character adds so much personality to the show that removing him... What the fuck did I just write? Okay, removing him in a bad way would simply be a waste of everything they've built so carefully since season 1. Peak's most favorable outcome would be surviving until the last episode and plummeting into being an even bigger degenerate than he already was, or becoming the typical celebrity whose career breaks down in the most satisfying way possible. These are the best outcomes in my opinion. As for the way they're presented in the series, he is a perfect description of what a superhero is in The Boys, and continues to evolve new ways of being corrupt. Some fucking how. So based on technology... Oh shit, no, I read that wrong. It continues to evolve new ways of being corrupt somehow based on the technology he has in his hands, or any trends going around in the media, as we saw with the Black Pill episode. The fact that he is such an asshole and clown at the same time makes the Peak the perfect side antagonist, concept-wise, and punching bag character. So, out of 10, since we're talking about an aquatic-based superhero, on the moist meter, I'd rate it a 10,000 out of 10. Yeah. No, but honestly, I don't think he's gonna die. He probably will, knowing the comic ending and how the creators of The Boys likes to do people. Especially how they did A-Train. Oh my god, like, after A-Train, you knew that Black Noir or the Deep was next. He probably dies in this episode. Nah, we gotta have faith. But on a more serious note, it kind of worries me that I'm literally evidence that my generation cannot read or speak for shit. Off camera, while I was reading or proofreading this, I didn't notice the grammatical errors. I didn't notice the spelling errors. They're the same shit. Why the fuck did I say the same shit twice? It's like saying chai tea. Or, I don't know. That's the only example that I could come up with on the fly. I don't have any speech disorders, I promise. I was reading just fine off camera. Perfectly. Let me reread everything. In conclusion, the Peaks character adds so much personality to the show that removing him in a bad manner would simply be a waste of his character, who was built up so carefully since season 1. Peaks' most favorable outcome would be surviving until the last episode and plummeting into being an even bigger degenerate than he already is, or becoming the typical celebrity whose career breaks down in the most satisfying way possible. Fuck. These are, in my opinion, the best possible outcomes for him. As for the way they presented him in the series, he's a perfect description of what superheroes in The Boys should be. and continues to evolve new ways of being corrupt somehow based on the technology he has on his hands and any trends going around the media. The fact that he is such an asshole and clown at the same time make Peak the perfect side antagonist, concept-wise, and punching bag character. Alright, that was it. Everyone, go home. Bye. Wait. Nah. Nah.